वो वैसे कल वाला लेक्चर था लेकिन मैंने उसको ना बेटा थोड़ा सा मॉडिफाई किया है।
Yesterday, third year. Yesterday we started with the carcinogenic agents, and we finished with the topic of chemical carcinogens. And if you remember the lecture of yesterday, we divided the carcinogenic agents broadly into three main categories: the chemical carcinogens, the radiation carcinogens, and the radiation carcinogens were again segregated into those caused by the UV rays and those caused by ionizing radiations. And then we have the microbial carcinogens. The microbial carcinogens include the oncogenic viruses and the bacterial agents. तो chemical carcinogens को बच्चों हम लोगों ने कल कर लिए थे, और chemical carcinogens का just to revise, chemical carcinogens में बताया था कि there is the initiation promotion concept, and both the initiators and the promoters are required. And ये नहीं होता कि पहले हम promoters apply कर दें और हम बाद में initiators always have to come before in the initial phase, and the initiators are responsible for causing mutations. Initiators are those which cause the mutations, and promoters, they enhance the proliferation. So initiators cause mutations, promoters, P for promoters, P for proliferation of the initiated mutated cells. Initiation is irreversible, it has memory, it is rapid, and its targets are the DNA, RNA, and the protein molecules of the cells. And initiation always causes non-lethal genetic damage to the DNA, which is irreparable. Promoters, they do not affect the DNA of the cell directly, and thus they are reversible, and they contribute to the proliferation of the cell. And during the process of promotion, additional new mutations can add to the original initiating mutation. And the promoters, they include the hormones, the phenols, and drugs. Or इसमें हमने example of promoters was the estrogen stimulation of the breast and endometrium. Unopposed estrogen stimulation. Unopposed means that there is no effect of progesterone. Continuously there is a stimulation by estrogen, and it is responsible for causing carcinoma of the endometrium and carcinoma of the breast. And chronic inflammatory processes like inflammatory bowel disease, chronic hepatitis, and Barrett's esophagus. ये एक फ्लो चार्ट था एंड इनमें हमने इनको दो में डिवाइड किया था, द डायरेक्ट एक्टिंग विच वर द alkylating agents and the acylating agents, and the alkylating agents include cyclophosphamide and chlorombutyl. फिर हमने ये भी पॉइंट हाईलाइट किया था कि they are used as although they are chemical carcinogens themselves, but they are also used as the treatment of certain cancers, like they are used in the treatment of ovarian cancer and leukemias. So inka they act as two-edged sword, meaning के treatment भी के लिए भी हम use इनको कर रहे हैं, and they are also inducers, the cancers को promote भी कर रहे हैं. Then we have the acylating agents. Those were the direct acting carcinogen. The indirect acting agents, they do not. Direct acting और indirect में ये होता है कि direct acting directly act करते हैं, they do not require metabolic conversion to become an active agent to produce carcinogenic effects. Indirect acting do not require metabolic conversion. Sorry, they do require metabolic conversion to become indirect. And so there is another step in which the indirect acting carcinogen gets converted into an active metabolite, and that active carcinogenic agent is then responsible for causing mutation. So the active carcinogenic agent which is now produced is known as the ultimate carcinogen. और इनमें examples आ जाते थे हमारे the hydrocarbons. Then aromatic amines, amides, azodyes, coloring agents, which are used in the rubber and the dye industries, like beta naphthylamine. This is used in the plastic dye industry, and that causes bladder cancer. Then the azodyes, which are food colors, they can cause hepatocellular carcinomas. Then aflatoxins, betel nuts, which can cause oral squamous cell carcinomas. ये सारे हमने कर. Then there is a miscellaneous group. इसमें आ जाता vinyl chloride, which causes angiosarcoma of the liver, chromium. Then miscellaneous group में हमारे insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, pesticides, ये सारे आ जाते हैं. Now we come on to the topic of today, and that is radiation carcinogens. Radiation carcinogens are broadly divided into two categories: the ionizing radiations and the UV rays of the sunlight. ये ionizing radiations जो होती हैं, ये आम तौर पे हमारी जो हमारी medical like हमारी medical diagnostic techniques होती हैं, उनमें भी हमारी कुछ ionizing radiations होती हैं, like ये जो हमारे CT scans वगैरह होते हैं, ultrasound, CT scans, and ये जो हमारे X-rays वगैरह होते हैं, इनमें ionizing radiations use होती हैं. And then we have number 2 are the UV rays of the sunlight. Then regarding radiation carcinogens, we have the UV rays of the sunlight, and they are responsible for causing skin cancers. Skin cancers होते हैं हमारे squamous cell carcinoma, जो कि हमारे skin की covering होती है, squamous cell carcinoma, basal cell carcinoma, and malignant melanomas. ये 3 cancers हैं. आपसे किसी ने इम्तिहान में पूछा कि can you name any malignant skin tumors, so you can say squamous cell carcinoma, basal cell carcinoma, and malignant melanoma. So sources of radiation carcinogens are the UV rays of the sunlight and the ionizing electromagnetic radiations. ये जो मैं अभी आपसे कह रही थी कि हमारे medical and occupational exposure में हमारी बहुत सारी medical रेडियोलॉजिकल टेक्निक्स ऐसी हैं, इवन के कैंसर की ट्रीटमेंट में भी हम कहते हैं ना कि एक तो कैंसर की 3 तरह से ट्रीटमेंट होती है. एक तो कैंसर की ट्रीटमेंट होती है सर्जिकल एक्सिजन, फिर हम पेशेंट्स को देते हैं कीमोथेरेपी, और दूसरी हम देते हैं रेडियोथेरेपी. और बाज दफा बहुत जो हमारे जो अनपढ़ लोग होते हैं, जब हम उनसे पूछते हैं कि आपका कैंसर का इलाज हुआ, तो वो कहते हैं कि हमें शुआएं लगी हैं. जो शुआएं होती हैं, that means the ionizing radiations. रेडिएशन ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं for the treatment of cancer, और कैंसर प्रोड्यूस भी ionizing radiations करते. जो कीमोथेरेपी एंड जो रेडियोथेरेपी का वर्ड यूज करते हैं फॉर द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ कैंसर. So ionizing electromagnetic radiations which are exposed, which are associated with medical and occupational exposure. इसमें आ जाती हैं हमारे X-rays. Radiologists, they have to take extra precaution when taking X-rays. फिर रेडियो न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स जो I-131 स्कैन करते हैं फॉर द डायग्नोसिस ऑफ थायराइड के डिसऑर्डर्स के लिए. हम कहते हैं ना कि इसका थायराइड स्कैन हुआ है तो हम उसमें रेडियो आइसोटोप लेबल्ड I-131 यूज करते हैं, विच इज अ रेडियो एक्टिव सब्सटेंस. Then nuclear radiations which are emitted from the nuclear atomic energy के जो हमारे atomic bomb blasts वगैरह होते हैं उसमें हमारे जो रेज निकलती हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई गेव यू द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द atomic bomb blast during the Second World War of Hiroshima and Japan. उनसे बहुत सारे tumors बाद में after a long latent period they were detected, they were diagnosed. इनमें especially हमारे lymphomas, ionizing radiations की वजह से lymphomas बहुत commonly detect हुए थे, and which are tumors of the lymph and papillary carcinomas of the thyroid. Radiation has an additive and synergistic effect with other carcinogenic agents. So what is the mechanism of radiation carcinogens? अब radiation carcinogens में कुछ होती हैं जो depending upon the wavelength of the radiation carcinogens. We have UVB rays and we have UVA rays. It is the UVB rays having a wavelength of 280 to 320 nanometers, which has a carcinogenic effect. And this carcinogenic effect is due to the formation of pyrimidine dimers due to DNA damage. जब भी DNA damage होता है, certain repair mechanisms आ जाते हैं which try to repair the damage which has been done. But sometimes इतना severe damage होता है and the repair mechanisms, they fail to cope up with the initial damage which has been caused, and that leads to the formation of certain skin cancers. Normally the pyrimidine dimers which are formed due to DNA damage as a result of the UVB rays, it is repaired by the NER mechanism. NER stands for nucleotide excision repair mechanism. ये आपको जब मैं oncogenes and proto-oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes कराऊंगी and DNA repair genes कराऊंगी तो आपको तब भी बताऊंगी कि there are 4 methods of repairing any damage that is caused. उनमें से one mechanism is the repair which is caused by the nucleotide excision repair mechanism. 3 mechanisms हैं, उनमें एक ये है. But sometimes it so happens that the pyrimidine dimers which were damaged, they are not repaired. And this occurs when there is extensive, prolonged sunlight exposure. And this causes skin cancer, which is a pre-malignant condition, which is xeroderma pigmentosa. It is an autosomal recessive condition, and ये एक families में run करता है, and individuals, families who have children with xeroderma pigmentosa, as the child grows, these family members are more prone to develop squamous cell carcinomas, basal cell carcinomas, and malignant melanomas, which are the 3 common skin cancers. And this occurs because of the failure of the repair system to repair the pyrimidine dimers, which were caused by the UVB rays. In addition, एक तो ये mechanism है. Number 2 mechanism is that the UV rays also cause mutation in P53. P53 is a tumor suppressor gene. ये हम जिस वक्त tumor suppressor genes करेंगे in the lectures in next week, unme we will study in detail that P53 is a tumor master regulator of the genome. It is known as the molecular policeman of the human body. It is the major tumor suppressor gene. And जितने भी हमारे tumors body में malignant cancers होते हैं, the vast majority of them are due to mutation. Normal p53 gene, it is a tumor suppressor gene. It is located on chromosome 17. ये tumors को suppress करता है, the normal one. लेकिन अगर उसमें कोई mutation हो जाएगी, तो उसका tumor suppressor function that becomes compromised, and it leads to unregulated tumor proliferation. So the UV rays of the UV rays, they cause by two mechanisms. They can induce carcinogenesis. Number one, they fail to repair the they fail to keep up with the repair system of the body. And number two, there is mutation in the p53. This is a case of xeroderma pigmentosa, which is caused by mutation in the repair mechanisms, so that the DNA repair mechanisms, they are not able to repair the DNAs which are the nucleotides which are damaged in our body. It is an autosomal recessive disorder. Then ionizing radiations. We have the electromagnetic rays like X-rays, gamma rays, and certain particular radiations like alpha particles, beta particles, protons, and neutrons. These are all the electromagnetic. Electromagnetic में आ जाते हैं X-rays and gamma rays, और particulate radiations में आ जाते हैं the small ones, alpha particles, beta particles, protons, and neutrons. These are all examples of ionizing radiations. Then X-rays, they cause skin cancers. Radionucleotides, I gave you the example of I-131 labeled iodine. Then radioactive mine workers, they have a 10-fold higher chances of developing carcinoma of the lung. Then survivors of the atomic bomb blast, वो जो World War I think 1940 में हुई थी, उसके जो survivors हैं, they are prone to develop many malignancies, of which the lymphoid origin malignancies like leukemias and lymphomas can occur after a latent time period of 7 years. In addition, these survivors of the atomic bomb blast are also prone to develop papillary carcinoma of the thyroid, cancer of the breast, cancer of the lung and colon. Multiple CT scan exposures जो कि हम tumors के diagnosis के लिए करते हैं, CT scans, they have 3-fold greater chances of developing. Children who undergo multiple CT scans, they have 3-fold greater chances of developing leukemias and gliomas. इसके अलावा एक्नी के ट्रीटमेंट के लिए भी बाज़ दफा रेडिएशन यूज करते हैं टू द हेड एंड नेक, एंड दोज फीमेल्स जो एक्नी की ट्रीटमेंट के लिए दे हैव इंक्रीज चांसेस ऑफ डेवलपिंग हॉजकिन्स लिम्फोमा. रेडिएशन इंड्यूस्ड कैंसर्स कौन कौन से? माइलॉइड ल्यूकीमियाज हैं, therapeutic radiation to the head and neck during infancy and in childhood, they can get papillary carcinoma, thyroid, CA, carcinoma of the breast, salivary glands, and lung. UV rays of the sunlight can cause skin cancers like SCC is squamous cell carcinoma, BCC is basal cell carcinoma, and MM is malignant melanoma. Ionizing radiations क्या करती हैं? They are strongly mutagenic. They may cause breaks in the chromosomes. They can cause translocation, that is one part of the chromosome break करके दूसरे किसी और chromosome के साथ जाके चिपट जाता है. And ionizing radiations can also cause point mutations. And these three mechanisms, like the chromosome breaks, translocations, and point mutations, can cause genetic damage, genomic instability, and cancer formation. Many of the double-stranded DNA breaks that are most important for, it is the double-stranded DNA breaks that are most important for the induction of radiation-induced cancers. And remember that the radiation-induced cancers, they usually develop after long latent period of several years. बाज़ दफा 40 सालों के बाद radiation-induced cancers manifest. Then we come on to the microbial, the third category. Pehli category of the carcinogenic agents was the chemical carcinogens. Number 2 are the radiation-induced carcinogens. And now we have the microbial carcinogens. The microbial carcinogens include the oncogenic viruses, which we will divide into the DNA oncogenic viruses and the RNA oncogenic viruses. And then we have certain bacteria which can cause cancers, which act as carcinogenic agents. So microbial carcinogens may we have the viruses and then we have the bacterial agents. Amongst the viruses, the RNA viruses, that is the retroviruses, we have on top of the list, we have the human T-cell leukemia type 1 virus. This can cause human T-cell leukemia, which is a CD4 positive tumor. जो इसका नाम है वही ट्यूमर भी वो कॉज कर रहा है. It is human HTLV1, human T-cell leukemia virus 1. It is causing a human T-cell leukemia type 1, which is a CD4 positive tumor. T lymphocytes आपको पता है ना, दो तरह के होते हैं. एक CD4 positive T lymphocytes होते हैं और एक CD8 positive lymphocytes होते हैं. So this retrovirus is HTLV1 is causing a CD4 positive tumor. T-cell, it is a T-cell leukemia lymphoma, which is very common in the Japanese and the population in the Caribbean islands, South America and Africa. This virus, that is the HTLV1 virus, which is an RNA virus, it has a special affinity or a liking for the CD4 positive T cells. And this virus, it contains a special oncogene. Oncogenes होते हैं वो genes जो के tumor produce करते हैं. They are known as the oncogenes. Onco means tumor and the oncogenes are the tumor producing genes. The virus gene, इसका एक oncogene होता है which is known as the TAX gene. And it is this TAX, इस virus के अंदर एक gene है which is responsible for its oncogenic potential, and that is known as the TAX gene. This TAX gene causes genomic instability in the CD4 infected T cells. This virus, HTLV1, it has an affinity for the CD4 positive T cells, so it attacks those cells. The TAX gene, it in turn suppresses several tumor suppressor genes, and when the tumor suppressor genes are suppressed, they are down regulated, there is increased proliferation of the T cells. And initially this is a polyclonal expansion. बाद में polyclonal expansion है, जितनी जल्दी cells multiply कर रहे हैं, proliferate करते हैं, उतनी ज्यादा उनके अंदर mutations होंगी, और जितनी ज्यादा mutations होंगी तो उतने ज्यादा chances of developing malignancies इसमें ज्यादा होंगी. And these leukemias and lymphomas, they occur after a long latent period of 40 to 60 years. Then another oncogenic virus is the hepatitis C virus. Hepatitis C virus is an RNA virus, and it is responsible for causing, along with hepatitis B virus. Hepatitis B virus DNA virus है, hepatitis C virus is an RNA virus. ठीक है? तो hepatitis C virus causes hepatocellular carcinoma, और उसकी pathogenesis ये है कि जब ये virus chronic hepatitis cause करता है, hepatitis C virus, it causes chronic hepatitis. So there is extensive death of the hepatocytes. बहुत सारे hepatocytes, they undergo necrosis. When the liver, as you all know, it has a remarkable capacity, miraculous capacity for regeneration. हम अगर liver का एक piece निकाल देते हैं ना, एक lobe या एक part निकाल दें, suppose 3 या 4 सेंटीमीटर का एक part निकाल दें, liver regenerate कर जाता है. और इसी तरह हम ऐसे करते हैं कि जिन लोगों में liver transplant करते हैं ना, नॉर्मल हेल्दी कैरियर्स, नॉर्मल हेल्दी डोनर्स का हम एक पार्ट लिवर का लेके ट्रांसप्लांट कर देते हैं इन द रिसिपिएंट। तो वो जब रिसिपिएंट के अंदर बेशक हम छोटा सा पार्ट ही ट्रांसप्लांट करेंगे, इट इज गोइंग टू रीजेनरेट। सो द लिवर, गॉड हैज bestowed it with a remarkable capacity for regeneration. जब हेपेटाइटिस सी वायरस की इन्फेक्शन होगी, हेपेटाइटिस होगा, there is extensive death and necrosis of the hepatocytes, plus there is going to be regeneration as a reactive phenomena. Regeneration होएगी, जब regeneration होएगी, rapid proliferation होएगी, rapid proliferation होएगी, तो there are going to be many cells in the regenerative pool and many cells in the phase of mitosis. और जितने ज्यादा माइटोसिस होगी उतनी ज्यादा म्यूटेशंस के चांसेस ज्यादा होंगे, and that is going to lead to hepatitis C virus induced hepatocellular carcinoma. Now we come on to the DNA oncogenic viruses. वो जो पहले दो हमने किए, those were the RNA oncogenic viruses like HTLV1 virus and hepatitis C virus. बच्चों समझ आ रही है? आवाज आ रही है, समझ आ रही है कि नहीं? हुमैरा, फिजान,
जी मैम आ रही है।
तुम बोलते क्यों नहीं हो? इतनी देर से बोलते हो। जैनब,
यस मैम,
समझ आ रही है? समझ आ रही है?
ma'am.
अच्छा, तो बोलते क्यों नहीं हो? हैं, मैंने कहा शायद मैं ही बोलती जा रही हूँ, आप लोगों को आवाज ही नहीं आ रही। अच्छा, नाउ वी कम ऑन टू द डीएनए ऑन्कोजेनिक। आरएनए वायरसेस 2 थे, ऑन्कोजेनिक वायरसेस 5 है। On top of the list, we have the HPV virus, which is human papilloma virus. Now, the human papilloma virus, it has 70 different serotypes. उनके numbers हैं. Some of them are responsible for causing benign lesions like papillomas, या viral warts जिनको हम कहते हैं, papillary lesions of viral warts. और कुछ हैं which have an oncogenic potential, that is they can cause malignant tumors. और सबसे ज्यादा जो ह्यूमन पैपिलोमा वायरस का जो इम्पोर्टेंट ट्यूमर है वो कौन सा है, बताया है आप लोगों को मैंने? बताओ, कोई तो बताए। सवेरा, किसी को पता है? कोई बता दे। आयशा, आयशा आसिर, कौन सा मैलिग्नेंट ट्यूमर कॉज करेगा ह्यूमन पैपिलोमा वायरस? बेटा बताया तो था आप लोगों को, नहीं याद? हाना का जवाब दे दो, मैं दोबारा बता देती हूँ। हेलो,
नो मैम, दोबारा बता दें। मैम दोबारा बता दें।
अच्छा, ह्यूमन पैपिलोमा वायरस, it is responsible for causing carcinoma of the cervix. पाकिस्तान में और वर्ल्ड वाइड आफ्टर कैंसर ऑफ द ब्रेस्ट, cervical cancer and endometrial cancers are the commonest cancers in females. बस इतना याद रखो, ह्यूमन पैपिलोमा, ये 4th ईयर में आप लोग डिटेल में करोगे, लेकिन आपको पता होना चाहिए कि ह्यूमन पैपिलोमा वायरस इट कैन कॉज कैंसर ऑफ द सर्विक्स। इसके जो ऑन्कोजेनिक स्ट्रेन्स हैं 16 and 18 है। इसके कुछ स्ट्रेन सीरोटाइप्स ऐसी हैं which can cause benign warts. Then we have the Epstein-Barr virus, another oncogenic virus, DNA oncogenic virus. Then we have the human herpes virus 8, which is responsible for causing Kaposi sarcoma. Then we have hepatitis B virus, and then we have the Merkel cell polyoma virus. So 5 oncogenic DNA viruses हैं: human papilloma virus, Epstein-Barr virus, human herpes virus 8, hepatitis B virus, and Merkel cell polyoma virus. These are the DNA oncogenic viruses. Now coming on to the human papilloma virus, it can cause benign lesions, जो मैंने आपको अभी बताया है कि it has it can cause viral warts, which are papillomas. And the serotypes which are responsible for causing these benign viral warts are serotype 1, 2, 4, and 7. Then the serotypes which are responsible for causing cervical cancer. CX is cancer of the cervix. It causes squamous cell carcinoma of the cervix. It can also cause cancer of the anal canal, squamous cell carcinoma of the anal canal, perianal region, cancer of the vulva, and cancer of the penis. These are all squamous cell carcinomas which is caused by the oncogenic strains of the human papilloma virus. And those oncogenic strains are serotype 16, 18, 31, 34. And all these cancers are sexually transmitted cancers. CS cervix, anal canal cancers, perianal, vulval cancers, and penile squamous cell carcinomas, they are all caused as a result of sexual transmission of the virus. Then genital warts. Then there are certain serotypes like HPV 6 and 11. They are known as the low risk papilloma viruses, as they cause genital warts. Genital warts like condyloma acuminata. Then human papilloma virus can also cause, it is also responsible for causing 20% cases of oropharyngeal carcinoma. So these are 5 categories of human papilloma virus. Now the development of cancer by this virus, that is human papilloma virus, is associated with integration of the genetic material of the human papilloma virus into the genetic material of the host. So जो human papilloma virus का जो genetic material है, वो जिस सेल को इन्फेक्ट करेगा उसके जेनेटिक मटेरियल के साथ जाके इंटीग्रेट हो जाता है. और इसके अलावा the human papilloma virus के जो 2 serotypes है ना, which are associated with malignancies, that is serotype 16 and 17, which are associated with malignancy of the cervix, cancer of the cervix, squamous cell carcinoma of the cervix. ये जो वायरस है, इसके 2 ऑन्कोप्रोटीन्स हैं, इसके 2 जीन्स हैं, E6 and E7 जीन. जो E6 जीन है ना of the papilloma viruses, it has a very high affinity for the P53 gene. P53 is the guardian of the genome. It is the master regulator. अभी आपको मैंने बताया, it is the molecular policeman of our body. This is the most common tumor which is mutated in the vast majority of human cancers. Most common gene which is mutated in the vast majority of human cancers. जो E6 oncogene है of the human papilloma virus, ये जाके P53 normal P53 के साथ जाता है और उसको डिग्रेड करता है, उसके साथ जाके एक affinity bond बनाता है और उसको जाके नॉकआउट कर देता है, उसको डिग्रेड कर देता है. और जब उसको डिग्रेड कर देगा तो there is the stimulation of a TERT receptor. TERT is a subunit of telomerase, and telomerase is an enzyme which causes immortality. वो cells को longevity of cells को increase करता है, lifespan of cells को increase करता है. In fact, it is an anti-aging enzyme, and it leads to increased lifespan or immortalization of the cells. So जब E6 combine करेगा P53 के साथ, तो P53 को डिग्रेड कर देता है. जब वो डिग्रेड कर जाता है P53, तो हमारा रेगुलेटर है, इट इज अ ट्यूमर सुप्रेसर जीन. अब तो वो म्यूटेट हो गया है, उसके साथ E6 कंबाइन कर गया, P53 का फंक्शन खत्म हो गया. जब बेचारे P53 का फंक्शन खत्म हो गया तो क्या हो जाएगा, सेल्स मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, उनकी लॉन्गेटिविटी इंक्रीज हो जा रही है, बिकॉज देयर इज द टीलोमरेज इज गेटिंग ओवर एक्सप्रेस. टीलोमरेज ज्यादा हो जाएगा तो सेल की longevity ज्यादा हो जाएगी. So the E6 protein of the virus is binding with the P53 of the host. दोनों का interaction होगा, so this is going to promote cancer of the cervix. इसी तरह जो E7 protein है of the virus, E7 oncoprotein of the virus, वो जिस सेल को इन्फेक्ट करेगा उसके आरबी के साथ भी कंबाइन करेगा. E6 जाके P53 के साथ कंबाइन कर रहा है, E7 जाके आरबी के साथ कंबाइन. आरबी स्टैंड्स फॉर रेटिनोब्लास्टोमा जी. ये दोनों P53 एंड आरबी, आरबी जीन इज नोन एज द गवर्नर ऑफ आर जीनोम. ये दोनों दे आर the most common tumor suppressor genes. ये ट्यूमर्स को नहीं बढ़ने देते. They are molecular policemen, governors. ये सेल को प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं ताकि वो malignant ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं हो. ठीक है, they are tumor suppressor genes. ये हम बाद में करेंगे. ट्यूमर सुप्रेसर जीन्स का मैंने पूरा एक लेक्चर लेना है, लेकिन अभी आप लोग इतनी चीजें. तो the E7 oncogene of the virus, it combines with the RB tumor suppressor gene और उसके फंक्शन को नॉकआउट कर देता है. It neutralizes the function of the RB gene. ठीक है. दूसरा फंक्शन जो इस ह्यूमन पैपिलोमा वायरस एक्टिवेट करेगा साइक्लिन्स, एंड इट इनएक्टिवेट्स द साइक्लिन डिपेंडेंट इनहिबिटर्स. ये अभी आप लोग रहने दो, अभी आप लोगों को नहीं समझ आएगी, ये बाद में आएगी. तीसरी चीज जो ये करता है, इट इनहिबिट्स एपोप्टोसिस. एपोप्टोसिस तो बेटा आप लोगों ने फर्स्ट चैप्टर में पढ़ लिया. जब एपोप्टोसिस क्या होता है, एपोप्टोसिस जब इनहिबिट हो जाएगा तो क्या होएगा? एपोप्टोसिस का मतलब है सेल ड्रॉप आउट. गंदे सेल्स, खराब सेल्स, पैथोलॉजिकल सेल्स, डिजीज सेल्स बॉडी में से निकल जाते हैं. अब जब वो ही नहीं निकल रहे तो क्या हो रहा है? सेल्स प्रोलिफरेट कर रहे हैं, मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं. सो these viruses they inhibit apoptosis. जब apoptosis नहीं होगा तो सेल उसी उधर ही पड़ा रहेगा, उसके अंदर म्यूटेशंस हैं, वो आगे ट्रांसमिट करेगा टू द प्रोजेनी. एंड वो जो हमने टेलोमरेज की एक्टिवेशन तो हमने कर ली है कि इट प्रिवेंट्स एजिंग ऑफ द सेल्स, इट लीड्स टू इमॉर्टलाइजेशन ऑफ द सेल्स, लॉन्गेविटी ऑफ द सेल्स को एनहांस करता है. सो इट activates the enzyme telomerase, it inhibits apoptosis, and the oncogenic effects are due to the inactivation of the P53 and the RB tumor suppressor genes. अब high risk HPVs जो हैं 16, and this is just a summary, they encode two oncogenic proteins like E6 and E7, and they inactivate the tumor suppressor genes like P53 and RB gene. They activate the cyclins, they inhibit apoptosis, and when they inhibit and then they also stop cell aging by causing upregulation of the anti-aging enzyme which is known as telomerase. But अच्छा ये आप लोग अभी ये रहने दो. But इसके अलावा the oncogenic potential of the human papilloma virus, it requires certain help from other genetic cofactors, like कोई और उनको कोई और genes भी चाहिए. इसके अलावा they need certain additive environmental factors like smoking, coexistent microbial infections, coexistent HIV infection, dietary deficiencies, and certain hormonal change. So ये सारी चीजें they try to augment or enhance the effect of the oncogenic effects of the human papilloma virus. लेकिन the good point is that human papilloma virus induced cancer की आजकल vaccine भी आ गई. So this vaccination, young girls and young boys, both because it is a sexually transmitted disease, तो इस वजह से both young boys and young girls in their teens are advised to undergo vaccination of the human papilloma virus so that they do not develop cancer of the cervix later on. This is a diagram showing human papilloma virus 6 and 11. These are the non-oncogenic strains, 6 and 11. They are responsible for causing anogenital warts. 6 and 11 serotypes are those which cause anogenital warts. और मैंने आपको बताया था condylomas are the name of the anogenital warts which are caused by human papilloma 6 and 11 serotypes. जो ह्यूमन जो ऑन्कोजेनिक हैं, जो CS सर्विक्स कॉज कर रहे हैं, दोज आर द कौन से वाले हैं 16 and 18. 16 and 18. Human papilloma virus E6 and E7, they bind with E6 binds with P53 and E7 binds with RB. And there is integration of the human papilloma virus into the host cell genome. Integration हो रही है, ठीक है? जब integration होती है, it will enter into the genome of the host cell. And this is going to lead to this is going to lead to integration, and this is going to lead to multiplication of the viral infected cells. अगर immune response बहुत अच्छा होगा, बेटा ये पॉइंटर नहीं आ रहा है, अगर immune response उधर जाके करूं, हाँ इधर, अच्छा इधर करूंगा तो अच्छा 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 अच्छा। If the immune response is good, so the effects of the viral will be counteracted and there is going to be reversion back. So epithelium है ये cervix का, there is productive HPV infection हुई है या latent का मतलब है कि उसके साथ ही रह रहा है, अभी आपको definition में latent की कराती है, और productive infection वो होती है जिसमें cells multiply, virus starts multiplying. Latent infection में virus cell के अंदर रहता है but it is not multiplying. बेटा ये आगे नहीं जा रहा, स्लाइड आगे नहीं जा रहा।
कर्सर ज्यादा इस तरफ
वो बस वो हाथ से हो जाता है। So now we come on to Epstein-Barr virus. Human papilloma virus की सारी कहानी खत्म हो। Now we come on to the Epstein-Barr virus. This is another DNA oncogenic virus belonging to the herpes family. अब ये कौन कौन से ट्यूमर्स कॉज कर रहा है? जिस तरह हमने एक लिस्ट की थी ह्यूमन पैपिलोमा वायरसेस की, benign warts, papillomas, anogenital warts, cancer of the cervix, cancer of the anal canal, कंडाइलोमास, ये सारी चीजें हमने की थी। ओरोफेरेंजियल कैंसर किया था। इसी तरह herpes virus, Epstein-Barr virus, it is causing these multiple types of lesions, malignancies. It is causing Burkitt's lymphoma. Burkitt's, ये हम बाद में इनकी सारी चीजें करेंगे। It is Burkitt's lymphoma is a lymphoma, बच्चों में बहुत कॉमन होता है, अफ्रीका में बहुत कॉमन। It is associated with the T814 translocation. Hodgkin's lymphoma, B-cell lymphoma, especially CNS B-cell lymphomas in immunocompromised persons, especially those who are suffering from AIDS, or those persons who have undergone organ or bone marrow transplant, or who are undergoing immunosuppressive therapy for some immunological conditions or cancer-related therapy. Then it is also responsible for causing nasopharyngeal carcinoma. It is also responsible for causing some types of gastric cancer, and it is also responsible for causing certain rare forms of T cell and natural killer cell lymphomas. And Epstein-Barr virus can also cause infectious mononucleosis, which is not a tumor, it is a benign inflammatory reactive condition. वो मैंने बस वैसे infectious mononucleosis का नाम डाल दिया है ताकि तुम लोगों को थोड़ी सी knowledge हो जाए. ठीक है? So Epstein-Barr virus is responsible for causing Burkitt's lymphoma, which is a non-Hodgkin lymphoma. It is responsible for causing Hodgkin lymphoma. Hodgkin भी हो गया, non-Hodgkin की type आ गई Burkitt's. Then it is also responsible for causing other B-cell lymphomas, especially CNS lymphomas in immunocompromised individuals, also responsible for causing nasopharyngeal carcinomas, also responsible for causing some types of gastric cancers. So the Epstein-Barr virus का जो एक उसका oncogene होता है जो कि इसके gene के अंदर है, it expresses a gene which is known as the LMP1, which is the latent membrane protein gene. And now this gene is acting as the oncogene. It also expresses another oncogene, and that is known as the EBNA2. So LMP1 and EBNA2, both of these, they have a strong affinity or liking for the B lymphocytes and the epithelial cells of the oropharynx. और फिर ये इनके अंदर क्या करते हैं, they establish a latent type of infection. Herpes viruses की आपको पता होगा, जैसे हमारे जितने भी herpes viruses हैं, अभी आपने शायद viruses नहीं पढ़े, जितने भी हमारे herpes viruses हैं, इनकी एक बहुत important property है कि they establish latent virus infection. Latent means के multiply नहीं करता, virus जाके उसी सेल के अंदर रहने लग जाता है. Latent infection produce करता है, उसी के साथ ना बड़े प्यार मोहब्बत से रहता है उसी सेल के अंदर. But once the immune response of the individual or the immunological mechanisms of the host, they are down regulated, virus starts multiplying, वो overcome करता है. And then it starts producing disease. So now it becomes active. पहले वो latent होता है, अब वो active हो जाता है. So जितने भी हमारे Epstein-Barr virus की भी यही property है, because it belongs to the herpes viruses group, that it causes latent viral infection. So it causes latent infection of the B cells via a receptor which is located on the B cell membrane, which is the CD21 receptor. And therefore it causes latent infection. Latent infection means the viruses is not replicating and the parent or the host cell is not killed by the virus. आराम से virus और cell बड़े आराम से एक दूसरे के साथ मिलजुल के रह रहे हैं. But LMP1 जब इसमें infection हो जाएगी, but LMP1 latent membrane protein gene, it promotes B cell proliferation and survival, and it is also preventing the apoptosis. जब apoptosis नहीं होगा, cell dropout नहीं होगा, cell is going to multiply and it is going to lead to the activation and the addition of different types of mutation. So the proliferating B cells, LMP1 is causing proliferation of the B cells, and these proliferating B cells are thus prone to increased risk of acquiring mutations. Then we have the third type of DNA virus, and that is the hepatitis B virus, and RNA virus, that is hepatitis C virus. Both of them are responsible for causing 70 to 85% cases of hepatocellular carcinoma. Their oncogenic effects are multifactorial. Dominant effect is chronic inflammation, liver cell injury and death and necrosis, the remarkable capacity of the liver to undergo regenerative capacity, regeneration होएगी, proliferation होएगी, increased number of cells in the cell cycle pool, increased mitosis, predisposition to mutations, and plus the additional environmental effects of aflatoxins. Aflatoxin मैंने आपको बताया था, it is a carcinogenic agent which is produced by certain fungi which grow on improperly stored grains and peanuts. So they produce a carcinogenic agent known as aflatoxin. सो वायरसेस का ऑन्कोजेनिक इफेक्ट प्लस एफ्लाटॉक्सिन्स के साथ जब ऐड हुआ तो एडिटिव इफेक्ट हो गया। इसके अलावा कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटरी फैक्टर्स लाइक इन्फ्लेमेटरी मीडिएटर्स, growth factors, cytokines, chemokines, and other bioactive agents all play a symbiotic role. सारे मिलजुल के they contribute to the development of hepatocellular carcinoma. Hepatitis B virus के अंदर एक जीन होता है which is known as the hepatitis B X gene, और जो hepatitis C virus which is an RNA virus. D virus is a DNA virus, hepatitis B virus is a DNA virus, and hepatitis C virus is a RNA virus. उसके अंदर hepatitis B virus के अंदर जो जीन होगा which is responsible for its oncogenic potential is the hepatitis B X gene, और जो hepatitis C virus के अंदर that is the core protein. They activate different transcription factors and transduction proteins, and all of them contribute to the development of genetic mutations. अब आ जाते हैं bacterial agents. Bacterial agents में we have the gram negative organism, ये हमने कल या परसों भी पढ़ा था, that is the H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori. Pylori is from the pyloric end of the stomach. Helicobacter pylori is a gram-negative, spiral-shaped, minute bacterium. It is responsible for causing peptic ulcer, chronic gastritis, gastric adenocarcinoma, and gastric malt lymphoma, which is a B-cell lymphoma. B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma, also known as maltoma, because it is arising from the mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. ये मैंने बताया था आप लोगों को, and I also told you that इस maltoma का अच्छा point ये है कि once the infection, H. pylori infection जब आप control कर देते हो, the induced maltoma, it reverts back. The person is cured. So this is one lymphoma which is cured by एंटी H. pylori की एक खास ट्रीटमेंट है, 4-5 इसमें ड्रग्स देते हैं, तो उसकी वजह से H. pylori की जब ट्रीटमेंट हो जाती है, and if the person has developed a lymphoma, it will revert back. So the pathogenesis of H. pylori induced adenocarcinoma is multifactorial. Adenocarcinoma भी cause कर रहा और lymphoma, ये दोनों याद रखो, these are different things. Adenocarcinoma is a malignant epithelial tumor forming gland-like structures, and maltoma is a tumor of the lymphoid origin. It is not forming glands. It is a lymphoma, which is a tumor of the lymphoid tissue. हमारे lymph nodes का tumor. So the pathogenesis of H. pylori induced gastric adenocarcinoma is multifactorial. Chronic inflammation, जाहिर बात है, सबसे पहले जब ये वायरस, जब ये बैक्टीरिया इन्फेक्ट करेगा, it is going to lead to chronic inflammation and reparative gastric cell proliferation. Gastritis cause करेगा. जब gastritis cause करेगा, inflammatory cells आएंगे, inflammatory cells are going to produce cytokines, chemokines, they are going to produce certain inflammatory mediators. They are also going to produce the reactive oxygen species, reactive oxygen derived free radicals like reactive oxygen species. Initially, there is going to be a chronic gastritis that is going to progress onto gastric atrophy, metaplasia hoga, gastric जो हमारा mucosa है, that is going to get converted into intestinal epithelium. Intestinal metaplasia होगा, metaplasia के अंदर dysplasia develop होगा, and ultimately it is going to lead to cancer. H. pylori has two pathogenicity genes, that is oncogenes CAG-A and VAC-A. CAG-A and VAC-A, they penetrate the gastric epithelial cells, these genes, and then they initiate growth factor stimulating pathways. And VAC-A is a vacuolating enzyme, ये cell की breakdown को cause करता है, ठीक है? CAG-A and VAC-A are the two oncogenes which are responsible for the oncogenic potential of H. pylori. So H. pylori can produce, it can also produce maltoma, it can also produce adenocarcinoma, it can produce peptic ulcer, it can produce chronic gastritis. So H. pylori induced gastric maltoma, initially it is going to cause a chronic gastritis. Chronic gastritis is going to be associated with the lymphoid follicle form. Normally, gastric mucosa के अंदर lymphoid follicles नहीं होते as जिस तरह हमारे appendix या हमारी large intestine वगैरह में lymphoid follicles होते हैं, इस तरह हमारे stomach में lymphoid follicles नहीं होते. लेकिन जब chronic gastritis होता है due to H. pylori infection, that is going to produce lymphoid follicle formation in the gastric mucosa. Initially, this is a polyclonal B cell proliferation. Polyclonal means that it is a reactive proliferation. Later on, जब भी हमने पहले पढ़ा था, tumors are monoclonal. Monoclonal means that they are derived, their progeny is derived from a single mutated cell which has incurred the genetic damage. जितनी भी polyclonal proliferations होती हैं, they are reactive, non-neoplastic. जो monoclonal होती हैं, वो हमारी neoplastic. So पहले reactive proliferations होंगी, polyclonal होंगी, और बाद में they get converted into mono. इसके अलावा inflammatory mediators which assist the development of marked lymphoma are tumor necrosis factor, interleukin 1b, and NFK, which आप लोगों ने inflammation में पढ़े हैं, nuclear factor K. Eradication of H. pylori cures the lymphoma. So what is cancer cachexia? Cancer cachexia is a condition in which cancer patients, they have progressive loss of both body fat and lean body muscle mass. And cancer cachexia means weight loss. बहुत emaciated patients होते हैं. Cancer के patients जब terminal stages पे आते हैं, they have a lot of weight loss. बहुत weight loss होता है, और weakness, anoxia, anemia, loss of appetite. And cancer cachexia is associated with an equal loss of both fat and lean muscle. They have an elevated basal metabolic rate, and they have symptoms of inflammation in the form of elevated levels of acute phase reactants. And the interaction between the inflammatory mediators and the immune system that leads to weight loss. And this prime cause of this cancer cachexia is TNF alpha. ये वाइवा क्वेश्चन भी है, और ये आपके MCQs में भी आ जाता है. जो ऑप्शंस दी होती हैं फॉर कैंसर cachexia is TNF alpha. TNF, tumor necrosis factor alpha, which in fact is an inflammatory mediator. Thank you. That's all for today.